Welcome again to another edition of Jesus Loves Joe, brought to you by Weekday Ministries. I'm Dan Britton, pastor of Equipping and Apologetics here at Hill Country Fellowship, and we're with another student today to talk about another apologetic topic. I'm here with Caitlin. So Caitlin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Caitlin. I go to Britton High School. I'm a junior this year, and I've been in apologetics for about a year now. And I love it, and I think it's helped my faith, and I've become a better Christian because of it.
Mm-hmm. How did you come to join our group initially?
My friend Sydney brought me one night.
Mm-hmm. So I found it interesting when we were talking about topics, and when you told me what you wanted to share about, I was a little bit taken aback because it's such a difficult topic. You want to share with our audience what the topic is and why you chose it?
Yes, this topic for me personally had a big impact on my faith, and I kind of distanced myself. I was like, well, I'll go to church because my parents, I've always gone to church and my parents raised me this way, so I'll do that. But I never really truly believed anything because I didn't have a good foundation for it. But this learning about this topic and getting some of those questions answered has helped me a lot.
Then that topic is?
Oh, sorry. Why God allows evil.
Definitely not a light topic.
No.
So what is the answer? Is there a short answer to why God allows evil?
There's no short answer, but there are, to sum it up, there are two types of evil, moral evil and natural evil. Natural evil is like disaster that strikes, illnesses, hurricanes, that type of thing. And moral evil is like humans inflicting evil upon one another. And to explain the natural evil, there's not a cause to it, but we do live in a corrupt world because of Adam and Eve ate the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil and kind of destroyed the world, kind of. And then moral evil, if you're not doing God's will, then you're not going to inflict good things upon the world. Like murder is not a moral good that God has set for us to do.
So how do you define evil? What's the easiest way for somebody to understand what evil is?
Just the absence, evil is just the absence of good. Because say you have a clean car and then it gets rusty. Well, if you take the car out of the rust, you have a good car. But if you take the rust out of the car, you have a pile of rust. What are you going to do with that? Yeah.
So it's just more of the absence of good that defines what evil truly is.
Yes.
What are some of the considerations we have to know when we try to understand the problem of evil? And here I'm thinking, in order to understand why God allows evil, what's one of the top considerations that we have to think about?
The biggest one is definitely free will. And because at the very beginning, God created man, and then God gave them free will. And then he said, you can do anything that you want, just don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And then what did they do? They ate the fruit. Yes, so we were given a choice. We're given a choice to either do God's will or do anything but that.
So they pretty much blew it for us on day one.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's a verse in Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 45:7, that says, God creates good and he creates evil. And some people will say, see, God creates evil. But how would you respond to that idea?
Like I said with the car thing, God didn't create evil. He created good things, and then when the good things become corrupt, then that becomes evil. Like the car. If the car gets rusty, then that's a bad thing. That's evil. But God didn't create the rust. He created the car. He created the oxygen and that oxygen is good because we need that to live. And then like once they come into contact with each other, kind of forms a bad thing.
So we also hear an expression a lot, it's almost a cliche that God's in control. How would you respond to that?
Well, he's only in control if like you use your free will to do God's will. If you use your choice, if you use the choice you're given to do God's will, then good things will come.
Yeah.
He will do your will for you.
So basically, if
do
you
his.
oversleep and are late for school, that's not God in control. That's you just
Right.
oversleeping.
Yeah, you
and
didn't get up.
not doing what God's will was,
Right.
which was to get up on time and get to school.
Right.
So, okay. So what's the biblical basis for free will? I think you've already hit that pretty hard with the
Yes.
whole thing with Adam and Eve and
Yes.
how they kind of blew it in the garden. But when you first joined, we went to a Rethink Conference in Dallas, Texas, and I know, based on conversations we've had, that the presentation by Frank Turek on the subject of evil really had an impact on you. Can you expand on that a little bit and tell us why that conference and that particular presentation made such a great impact on you?
Yes. I actually remember that car analogy with the rest from that presentation. That kind of had an impact on me. I was like, oh, well, he didn't create evil things. Evil things are inflicted upon the good things that he's created. So I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then I was like, well, what about like natural disasters and everything, and like things that we really don't have any control over? And then he answered that for me, and that helped a lot. And then I also remember this one, he was telling us a story about a presentation he gave, and this atheist in the audience was like bashing him, and he was like, well, why do bad things happen if you have this such good God, and why can't he like stop these evil things from happening? And then he kind of went into like the butterfly effect and how like an evil thing can happen and then good things can come from it. And then this guy stands up in the audience, and he was like wanting to share a story. And he said, a woman some odd years ago was raped and became pregnant, and she was given a decision to either keep the baby or to get an abortion or put it up for adoption or something. And she decided to keep it, and then she raised the boy up to be a Christian, and then at the end of his story he was like, and that boy is me, and I'm a pastor, and I've led hundreds of people to God, and that really impacted me, and I thought it was really cool.
So out of evil,
Can
God
come
brought
good.
good out of it.
Yes, I thought it was awesome.
And that had a profound effect on you, just
Yes.
understanding that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Caitlin.
Thank
We
you.
enjoyed talking to you, and thank you once again for tuning in to Jesus Loves Joe. Subscribe to Jesus Loves Joe to get all of these updates, and we'll see you the next time. God bless.